Hi, my name's Sydney. I'll be your dietitian for today. Can you just confirm your name and date of birth for me?
Yeah, Brad Harm. I was born January 11th, 1969.
All right, perfect. We're just gonna go over this form that you filled out just to make sure we didn't forget anything. So you are 5'10" and weight 252.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you circled no for cancer, diabetes, osteoporosis, thyroid disorder, and heart disease, but circled yes for high cholesterol and high blood pressure.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then you included your medication. You have a few for your blood pressure, one for your acid reflux, a triglyceride medication, and then two that are supposed to help lower your cholesterol. And then you also report taking a multivitamin once a day.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you said that you haven't had any of these issues: change in appetite, weight gain, weight loss, chewing or swallowing problems, constipation or diarrhea, or vomiting or nausea.
No. The only weight gain that I've had is when I quit smoking.
Okay. Do you recall how much of a weight gain that you gained?
40 pounds.
And how long ago was that?
That was about 5 years ago.
Perfect. And then you said that you have not received any diet education before.
No, ma'am.
All right. So physical activity, you said that you normally just do have some physical activity at work and at home. Do you do anything specific at work for physical activity? Do you just walk around a lot, or?
We walk around quite a bit, a lot of standing. Of course, you have to go up and down ladders several times a day to get parts. And once a week, we do have truck, and that entails a lot of heavy lifting as far as batteries and that kind of thing for the automobiles.
Okay. And then anything specific at home that you do for workouts?
No.
Okay. That's all right. All right, now talking about some things that, well, let's go back to home. So you said that you don't do any specific workouts at home. You are married and you have two people in your household, one of them being you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then you do have a refrigerator, stove, and microwave. That is very handy.
Why was that even on there?
So that's on there just to see what your availability is. Like, some people, we work with many different social status people, so we just wanted to use that as a question just to see what you have in your house to be able to make certain foods, so we can really tailor like education and meals and stuff that we give to you.
Okay.
For the people that have all these certain things. Some people don't have microwaves, stuff like that. All right. You said that you normally only have 2 meals per day.
Yes.
Do you snack at all during the day, or just those 2 meals, really?
No, I basically just have my sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit in the morning, and then I have a cup of 32 ounces of water, and I also keep a 32-ounce Gatorade at work just to drink on during the day, and then I have my meal in the evening.
Okay. Well, sounds like you're definitely staying hydrated. That's good. Is that just because your work schedule is just really crazy and you just get too busy and don't have really time to eat, or just because you just prefer it that way?
No, it's just crazy.
Okay. Alrighty. So you said you do consume alcohol about 6 ounces a day.
During the work week.
Okay. So back to your work, you said that you're a retail manager.
Mm-hmm.
What store do you work at?
I run Advanced Auto Parts in Nicholasville, Kentucky.
And then you said you eat out about 1 time a week.
Yeah.
Here you said that I had a question if there was anything that you would like to work on or change, and really so I could tailor our session for that. You said that you wanted to start a weekly meal plan to lose weight. Is there anything else that you want to add right now, or just see how the session goes and then we can talk about it in a little bit?
No, I think the biggest help would be finding out a good diet and eating schedule with proper food management to help me lose some of this weight that I gained when I quit smoking and have not been able to get off since.
Alrighty. So this is your 24-hour recall. It's just going over what you had. Did you fill this out yesterday?
Yes, I was
Alright.
off work yesterday, so it doesn't reflect my actual eating schedule, but
Okay.
it's pretty close.
Okay. That's fine. We can always alter this to help whenever you're at work. So just going to go over this to make sure that we have everything. At 7 a.m. you had a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, just one of them, and that was your breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any liquids with that? Coffee, water?
Just my water.
Okay. And then around 11 a.m. you had a jalapeno sausage with a bun, and you had 2 of those, and that was your lunch. So normally you wouldn't have that, correct?
Normally I
Alright.
wouldn't. And I did have lemonade with a glass of lemonade with that.
Did you have any condiments on that?
Just mustard.
And then for your dinner, it looks like it was around 7 p.m. You had a cheeseburger, some french fries, and a Frosty. Was that eating out?
Well, it was something we went and picked up and brought back.
Okay.
Home. That's what I consider eating out because we generally don't actually go to a restaurant to eat. We'll just get something and bring it home.
Is that normal for you all, or is that just because COVID and all this?
It's basically because of the COVID-19.
Okay. What was on your cheeseburger?
Lettuce, tomato, pickles, mayo.
Any ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup and mustard, yes, ma'am.
Alrighty, and then you didn't. Oh, what did you have to drink with that? Did you have anything?
Oh, I just had the Frosty.
Okay.
It was quite delightful.
I like Frosties. What flavor do you like? All right. Did you have anything after that? Any water or anything even after your dinner, like before bed or anything?
Just water when I took my pills.
Okay.
Before I went to bed.
Alrighty. Alright, that was the end of this form. So, since you did have high cholesterol and high blood pressure, I did go ahead and put this little handout together for you. So, we'll just go over this real quick. So, hypertension is basically just high blood pressure. But the main reason we want to talk about this today is because it does have risks and can increase an individual's risk for heart attack, stroke, and other heart diseases. So it's really good to make sure you're diagnosed with this, get on medication if need be, or alter your diet if you need to, just to make sure that you can kind of control that and not increase your risk even more for those certain things.
Okay, and I did have a heart attack, and they went and placed 2 stents.
Okay.
In to help that.
Okay, well that is very good to know. How long ago was that?
It was 4 years ago.
Okay. Have you had any other issues with your heart since then, or just that,
No.
and then you've been pretty healthy since then?
No, the only other issue that I have had is I changed my allergy medication that I take to a different kind,
Mm-hmm.
and when I did that, it adversely affected the other medication that I take for my blood pressure,
Okay.
and my blood pressure went sky high, and I'm not knowing what it was that was causing that. I had to call my cardiologist, and they sent in some pills to help lower my blood pressure immediately. And then, upon kind of doing some research, I found that the changing of the allergy medication would affect um, my blood pressure like that. So I got off of it, and everything's been fine.
Okay, well, that's good that you got that figured out. It's very hard whenever you're on certain medications to make sure that a medication that might supposed to be helping you with something else could possibly not help the medication that you're already currently on. So that's kind of hard. So do you know much about blood pressure? Like, I know you said you had no diet education or anything, but did your doctor talk about anything about blood pressure specifically whenever they put you on medications like that?
Not necessarily. They just put me on medication.
Okay, so do you check your blood pressure regularly?
Not really regularly, probably once a week or so.
Okay, well, no, it's at least it's not just never. At least you're doing it a little bit. So this also has some stuff about blood pressure. So since hypertension is blood pressure, I went into more detail about that. So your blood pressure is measured by two numbers. So since you do take your blood pressure, you know that there's a top number and then a bottom number.
Mhm.
So do you know what those two numbers are and how they are different?
One's systolic and one's something else. And
Good. Yes, you're definitely on the right track. So the top number is systolic, like you mentioned, and then the bottom number is diastolic. So systolic is the measurement of the pressure in your arteries when your heart is actually beating and pumping blood throughout your body. So then diastolic is the measurement of the pressure when your heart is resting, so in between those heartbeats. So that's what those two numbers are.
oh, okay.
So then this next page is talking about blood pressure levels. Do you know your blood pressure? Have you currently
Right now it's
measured it?
running like 129 over 85. Seems to be my normal right now.
Okay. So this is just a little chart that shows you. It makes it easy to look at since it includes both of the numbers. So since we can look at yours right now, since you said that 129 is normally your top number, so we'll look at systolic, and that is a little elevated. And then yours is 85 for your diastolic, and that is still pretty high. So is that how it is even on your medication?
Yes.
Okay. So in the next page, I actually had things that can also help control your hypertension and possibly decrease it, instead of just using and relying strictly on your medication. So this one, it says that you can increase your physical activity. I know you said that you get some at work, but you don't really normally do anything at home. Do you think that you could possibly start increasing your physical activity at home, or are you just normally tired and don't really want to do anything when you get home?
My feet hurt a lot too, so especially being on the concrete all day, last thing I really want to do is be up on my feet doing exercise.
Okay,
when
well,
I get done working.
that's completely fine. We can start looking at these other things to look at too. And then maybe in a few extra sessions, if you are feeling better and more energized after all these other changes, maybe we can start to work on some more physical activity. So the next bullet is a heart healthy diet. So this we really focus on fresh fruits and vegetables, but our main thing is we want to decrease the amount of saturated fats, cholesterol, and sodium intake. And then also decrease alcohol and smoking, which you did mention that you stopped smoking. Is that still the case? You don't smoke anymore?
Absolutely.
You do or you don't?
I do not.
Okay, good. That is a good start to that. All right. So looking at your 24-hour recall, it is, if you look at it, pretty high in sodium. And that's just with like the processed stuff, like the sausage, the cheese, obviously the cheeseburger, french fries from, was it Wendy's since you had a Frosty?
Yes.
Yes. So some ways that we can decrease that is on the next page. We'll go over these next two bullets real quick. So another thing that has actually been shown that has a possibility to lower your blood pressure is stress. Are you normally stressed out? Do you have a lot of stress? Not really. Very stressed out. Is that because of work?
Yes.
Okay, well, just for that, I would suggest just trying to give yourself some me time, especially when you get home, or if you possibly have time for a lunch break, maybe not every single day, but maybe like once a week if you can take just a little time off and like go into your office. Do you have an office?
No.
Okay, well maybe go into your car and just sit and eat some lunch and just give some time for you to like reflect on things. If you ever have time for that, that'd probably be a good thing. And that could potentially help lower your stress levels. And then also it's monitor your blood sugar or blood pressure regularly. So we did talk about that, talked about how you do it once a week. Maybe a little bit further into this session we can talk about goals and setting some goals. And maybe one of your goals could be measuring it every other day instead of every day right now, but maybe every other day just to get
a little more frequently.
Yeah, just a little more frequently, not anything too excessive. So this next page are just tips for a healthy diet. Like I said, increase fruits and vegetables, and that can be incorporated with smoothies. The dried fruits and vegetables are really good. It doesn't necessarily have to be fresh fruits and vegetables. If you like them, then that's great. If not, then there are other ways to get around just eating fresh fruits and vegetables. For sodium and cholesterol, I really encourage people to look at the nutrition labels on their foods. Have you looked into those at all? Do you notice any of them?
But it seems like everything that is boxed or processed has a ton of sodium and cholesterol in them. What kind of ranges are we looking at that are healthy in those items versus not healthy?
Okay, so for a heart-healthy diet for sodium, and a total for one day, we would like to stay under 2,000 milligrams of sodium.
Okay.
And you did mention, a bunch of processed foods does have sodium, and those are foods that you do want to watch out for. Even some canned fruits and vegetables fruits have extra sugar in them. Vegetables have extra sodium just because of the processing that it goes through. But with those, we suggest you can always just rinse off the juices or whatever is in the can off of the vegetables before you eat them or prepare them. So that also can lower the sodium intake. So just looking at that label and really like understanding it, they recently made a change to it a few years back, so I feel like it is a little bit easier to read. And then a few other things that we can do for the diets are lower your caffeine intake, which you said that you just drink water and Gatorade normally. Do you intake any caffeine really?
Once in a while I'll have a cup of coffee, but
Okay.
it's not anything I have daily.
Okay, well that's fine. That's one cup of coffee is completely fine. It's not an excessive amount. I've had people that have drank coffee all throughout the day, even right before bed.
Yeah.
And then no smoking, which we've already talked about, and limit alcohol. So that is that. So there is a blank space on your piece of paper, and I would like to go over some goals. On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you and like that you want to make goals to help with either your high blood pressure or to lose weight, like you mentioned?
I'm ready.
You're pretty ready?
Like 8, 9, 10 type thing.
Okay. That is very good. How confident on that same scale? Are you pretty confident you can make these changes, or are you a little worried?
It seems like it gets frustrating because I've tried, reading labels and that kind of thing and watching my intake, and I get no results, and that gets frustrating.
Yes, that is definitely frustrating. So would you say you're probably about a 5 on that confidence scale?
As far as it working for me, yes, probably
Okay.
about a 5.
So do you want to work on, let's say, 2 or 3 goals?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can start them off little, so they're not anything too drastic of a change. We'll start off little, and then each session moving forward, we can always add stuff to it.
Okay.
So is there anything specific for goals that you would like to make, like that you think that you should make after going through all this with your 24-hour recall and the education?
Is there a good weight amount to lose in a given period? Because I've read a lot of things about not you don't want to lose it too fast, or you'll just gain it right back.
Yes. There is actually, so normally we tell our clients to start off losing about 7 to 10% of their body weight if they are wanting to help with any of their diagnosis. But that also shouldn't be lost within a month. I say probably about 6 months to a year after losing that weight. That's probably a good time frame.
Okay.
So would you like for that to be one of your goals that we keep checking up on?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see what 7% of your weight is. Okay, that's about 17 pounds. So do you want to start off with maybe about 5 pounds within, let's say, 2 to 3 months?
Within the first quarter, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we can write that down.
Okay.
All right, so that will be our more long-term goal to work on. And we'll just keep checking up on that every session that you come into, just so we know if you're on track or not. The second goal, do you want to do any changes to your diet? Because you did say in one of your questions right here whenever I asked what you would like to do or work on, you said that you would like to change part of your meal plan in
Yeah.
order to lose weight.
To something to more put me in towards a heart healthy type diet, and
Okay.
I think that along with that would help me lose my weight as well.
Yep.
Just eating a heart healthy diet.
Yes, that is correct. It probably will. Do you want to start? We don't need to change your water intake or anything. You're doing pretty good on that. Do we want to focus more on sodium?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you want to try the 2,000 milligram sodium diet or less for a few days or a week and just see how that goes?
We can do it for a week and
Okay.
see what options I have that are available for that.
Okay, and then do you want to write another small goal or would you just like to stick with those 2 goals?
As a third goal, I would like to try to increase my my exercise just during the week. Just try to motivate myself to do some walking on the treadmill when I get home or something like that.
Okay, that's very convenient that you have a treadmill, especially during these cold winter months.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was about to say that you could just maybe go on a walk. Do you have any pets you could take on a walk?
Oh yeah.
Well, you could always take, whenever it's nice and pretty outside, you could always just go on like a 25-30-minute walk after work just to get their energy.
Now, is them dragging me considered exercise?
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're walking with them. So yeah, we can just start with maybe increasing your exercise, doing a little walking or weightlifting or something like that for maybe 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Do you want to do that for 3 or 4 days a week? You think you could do that, or do you want to start a little bit lower?
Let's do ambitiously at 3 days
Okay.
a week right now and see how it goes.
Okay, that is fine. And then if that doesn't work out, we can always lower that goal and maybe we could increase the amount of time, but just do it for maybe like 1 or 2 days a week instead of just doing it for 3 days.
Okay.
Okay, well, I think that we have some pretty good goals and that you seem pretty motivated to work on it. And we can meet within, you want to say 4 weeks?
That sounds good.
And then we can meet up and see where you're at. And I'm very excited to work with you to see how well we can help with your weight loss that you want to achieve and work on lowering your hypertension levels. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, ma'am. I think once we get the diet together and everything, I think I'm looking forward to doing it.
Okay, perfect. Well, it was so nice to meet you. Thanks for meeting with me. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
All right. Thank you.